Hey guys, it is like 9:30. It's really late. It's Saturday. Peter and I should be getting ready for bed already, but we are not. We just finished some work discussions and now I'm like, oh no, I need to film my daily vlog. So here I am. Yesterday night, the funniest thing happened. So I'm sleeping. I turn to my right and I smell, oh my God, it smells like shit. What is this? And then Peter's facing me and I'm like, oh my God, is it Peter's breath? So I turn away. And then a little bit later, I roll back. And then I'm like, it still smells like shit. Oh my God, Peter's breath smells like shit. He's breathing into my face. It smells like shit. And then I'm like sniffing pretty loudly. And then Peter wakes up and was like, what are you smelling? I'm like, "Ugh, it smells like shit." And then Peter takes a deep breath in. He's like, it is shit. Chai's taking a shit. And then we woke up and then I was like, moved my hand about, oh my God, there is a shit here. Somehow we have no fucking clue how, but Chai had took a dump in the bed. It wasn't a big dump and it was solid, thank God. Because Apu's been like a bit, I think she's having some stomach issues recently. She'd taken a shit in our bed and then Peter and I woke up and just had to clean. It was 3 a.m. Yeah, Chai, we had to clean it up, got a tissue. I picked up her poo. It was in like one big piece and then two little pieces. And then Peter and I were freaking the shit out because when Peter got up, he was like, oh my God, it's under me. So how he'd rolled onto it. And then we had to change all the sheets in the middle of the night. And it was just, it was so chaotic, but it was so funny because we were just giggling like little school kids because I kept looking at him. I'm like, I thought it was your breath that smelled like shit. And he's like, that's really offensive. And we were just giggling. And then it took us like another half an hour to fall asleep because we kept giggling because I literally thought it was his breath. It was facing me. His face was like here. And I was like, oh God. Oh, Peter's breath is so bad. It smells like shit. But it was literal shit. So that's what happened yesterday night. We woke up late. Well, I woke up late at like 8:30. Then we decided to go for lunch before we went to the convention center. The convention center had 3 conventions today. There was an office convention, a Medi Pharma convention, and a logistics convention. So we're like, okay, we'll check all of them out. So we went over to near the convention center and I was like, okay, can we please go to 7-Eleven? We were going to go to this Italian sandwich place for breakfast. And that place, last time we checked on the menu, doesn't sell coffee. So I was like, let's go to the 7-Eleven first next to it and I'll get myself an iced coffee and then we can go eat there and I can have my coffee with my Italian sandwich. Got the iced coffee, got an extra shot. That was an ordeal in itself because I had to explain to the lady that I wanted a cafe latte, which they call it here, iced. So I want an iced coffee latte with an extra shot. Then she added just a cup of ice to the register machine. She's like, how many shots do you want in it? And after a while, then she's like, oh, you want a cafe latte? And then we figured it out. Anyway, I got my coffee, went across, and then the damn place wasn't open. It was 10:30. It only opens at 11. So Peter and I went and had McDonald's for breakfast instead. I had a McChicken. He had a, what did he have? Just like a quarter pounder. I'm not sure if everyone knows what a quarter pounder is. Essentially just like a Big Mac, but like a thicker patty and not so stacked so high. So only 2 pieces of bread. After that, went to the convention. We went to the Medi Pharma one. We found some gummy manufacturers, like gummy lollies, because Peter said, oh, it would be interesting to make gummy lollies. That would be fun because the only time he has started eating vitamins consistently was when he ate gummy fiber lollies. So we're like, oh, maybe we can manufacture them. Vietnam right now is in a stage where I think most of the basic food needs are met. It's kind of crazy coming from Australia where most people, like the large percentage of the population, food security is not an issue. Whereas in Vietnam, I think they've just started to get past that phase. There are probably some areas where it's still, but I'm not talking like in other continents where there can still be like widespread hunger and food security isn't an issue. So long way of saying the next thing or the next trend that usually happens in these places is people start to take or be more take more care of or be more concerned about their health and start consuming things like vitamins. So we're like, oh, personally, we like the gummy vitamins because they're so easy to consume rather than having to swallow vitamin pills like I do every day. So yeah, that's what we saw with the Many Farmer one. Then we went to this office expo, which we were hoping would be office furniture, office chairs. We're like, maybe we can get some new office chairs. But instead, the whole place was just selling stationery. And we realize now, because last week we went to the cosmetics and beauty one, which was a lot of manufacturers and suppliers. But this office expo was just, it was like a market. There were just people trying to sell stationery, even like I don't know how to describe it. Statues, they're not like Buddha statues, but they're like wooden carved huge pieces. And then there's like the prayer beads, which they use. So it was like kind of religious stuff or pretty much anything you would put in a Vietnamese office, they were really selling, but not from a wholesale perspective. It was just like a market. Then we went from there. I'm thinking of the Thai. There was also like a Thai convention with like Thai foods. And that was literally just like someone had set up, it's Thai week. And then they were selling all the Thai foods and things inside there, full of Vietnamese people trying to buy Thai inhalers, Thai snacks, everything. So it wasn't a convention. So we just realized they're market stalls essentially that they open up to the public. So you didn't even have to register for that one. So that was the last one we went to. So after the office one, we went to logistics one because we're thinking, oh, maybe we can learn something about how to ship our clothes internationally. Even though we already had some companies in mind that we wanted to use to ship internationally, we're like, maybe we can find a really good deal from someone else that we haven't heard of before. But then we went there and everything, it was not the type of logistics that we want. We want like, I think courier logistics where it's like door to door. This whole convention, after we spoke to 2-3 people, we realized it's shipping containers. They're shipping like damn huge cargo containers and hundreds of them. So we're like, this is not the right thing. So we're like, okay, it's time to go home. So that was our day today. We didn't go gym because we're going to go gym tomorrow, because now that we have the cleaner coming in, the cleaner can only do Mondays and Thursdays in the morning, like 7 to 10. So we need to go really, so on those days we can't go to gym. So now I have to schedule my rest days on those days. Or Peter said he'll stay home some of those days because he doesn't gym as much as I do. So we will go on Sunday and Tuesday, and Monday will be a rest day. So tomorrow I need to wake up early and go to the gym. Peter's also getting his hair permed again, new hairdresser. And I will get my hair cut and Peter will get his hair cut as well. Apart from that, when we're eating dinner, so Peter had finished eating dinner and I was like, I'm still hungry. So he heated up some soup for me in a big pot that Peter's mum had made. And he's like, I'm done with dinner. So I went, and again, this is my very particularness. Peter's the type, okay, maybe let me backtrack a bit. When we eat dinner, we microwave whatever, heat everything up, put it on the table. Peter will have his bowl and he'll scoop from the whatever we're sharing into his little bowl and eat a little bit at a time. For the life of me, I don't know why. I just want one big bowl and I want to know what I'm eating. And I just want to eat what I'm eating. So I'll scoop everything. And then I always ask him, do you want more or not? He's like, I don't know, which is the most frustrating thing for me in the world because I need to mentally know how much more food I need to consume. Is anyone like this? It might just be me, but I want to know if he's going to eat like half more. Okay, great. Then I'll leave him half more and I just want to put whatever's in my bowl. But sometimes he'll just leave leftover things and I hate throwing out food. So I will try and finish it, which like infuriates me. And also I have a certain amount of rice in my bowl with whatever vegetables or meat there is. I want to portion the rice to the meat and vegetables in the right proportions. So again, I need to know exactly how much I'm going to eat. So Peter finished dinner. I was like, I'm still hungry a bit. So I heated up some soup. And then I went to the soup pot and I got up my bowl and I scooped everything in. So it's a vegetable soup. It has like different types of tofu in it. So I got one piece of every single type of filling in the pot plus the soup. I had it in my bowl. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. This is how much I'm gonna eat. I'm like content with this much. I bring it back to the dining table and I put it there. Peter's still eating like whatever his dessert is, and he walks away. And then he comes back. So the pot's still on the stove with like a spoon in it with everything in it. And he comes up to my bowl of soup and he scoops one of my tofus and he puts the whole thing in his mouth. And I just start screaming because I think I'd lost my shit that I was mentally prepared to eat this amount of food. And then suddenly, and I was mentally like, I was very happy that I had one of each piece and I was going to eat them all, try them all. It's like, I was anticipating already what the eating experience is going to be like, and then this a psychopath comes over and takes my tofu and eats the whole thing, and then I'm screaming and he's got the spoon in his mouth. Then suddenly he's like, oh shit, I think I took his tofu. You can see his brain working. He's like, oh, I took Teggy's random tofu, and he opens his mouth, takes the whole tofu out, and then I stop screaming because he's taking it out. And then he puts it back in my bowl, and then I start screaming again. It's not like screaming, like, ah. Then he's like, what? I put it back. I'm like, no, you just had it in your mouth. I don't want it anymore. So then he eats half of it. I'm like, no, I don't want any of it anymore. So then he eats the whole thing, and then I have to go get my bowl and then go back over to the pot, which I was like, why didn't he do this to begin with and use the spoon in the pot and take something out of there and eat that? And I had to get one piece of tofu to replace the piece of tofu that he had eaten. So I was just like, I don't know why, but I had mentally prepared to eat all those pieces in the bowl and mentally prepared to be a certain level of full. And I just felt so thrown off when he ate my piece of tofu. And this is not the first time it's happened. Sometimes he likes to leave me pieces of food, and I find it just uncomfortable that I don't know what or how much I need to eat and can portion it. Like, even some people will, like, they'll fill the bowl, they'll eat whatever they can, and the rest of it, I'll just pack for leftovers. I can't do that. I need to mentally take out, not mentally, I can physically take out whatever I know I can't eat first, put it in the fridge, and then I'll eat my bowl, and that's my portion. It's done. There's no more, there's no less. That's exactly my portion. So that is Techi's eating habits. Apart from that, we have set up a new vlogging camera for when we vlog with the boys, the other two boys, Dan and Joel, the two boyfriends, if anyone's just tuning in now. And today I just learned that there is something called a hot shoe. There's a cold shoe and a hot shoe, but previously we've been using them interchangeably. Essentially, it's that little thing on top of a camera where you usually mount a flash unit, but there's a whole lot of variations, different reasons you can use them for different things with like filming equipment. So we set up a new camera, and then yeah, I just literally realized that we have a cold shoe on top that we need to attach some microphone thing to, and then I bought a hot shoe. I'm like, what the hell's ever been hot in a cold shoe? So a cold shoe has no electricity. It's just like a mount. It's like a clip, and then this other thing goes into it. A hot shoe is, I think it has metal, so it runs electricity through it. So if you needed to use for like a camera flash, it provides electricity. And I'm not 100% sure, but this is the deduction that I've made. So don't quote me on it, but I think that's the difference between a hot shoe and a cold shoe. And it going to sound so stupid to some of you, but we just learned that today. Yeah. Oh, this is the last question that I wanted to answer, and I kept it to last because I feel like I have a detailed answer. So someone asked, which I did not answer in episode 1 or vlog 1. No, someone left it on vlog 1 and I forgot to answer it. Sorry guys, I try to look at the comments, but especially if it's the older vlogs, I try to only look at the there's too many, I can't go through every single vlog because now I've got too many vlogs that are out to check the comments, which is difficult. So if I don't answer something you really want an answer, you ask again and I see it, I will try and answer it. The question is, so this is related to our other two boyfriends, Dan and Joel. The question for Peter and I is, are you able to form the close emotional bonds with them as you have for each other? Or does that relationship sit in a different emotional category. I think the broad answer is, do I feel as emotionally close to them as I do to Peter? The answer is going to be no, but purely, and I think it's the same for all of us. I think I'm answering this question, and I think all of us would answer it in the same way. But maybe when we have the boys coming over next week, we can ask them again. The answer is no, but not in a negative way. It's because each of us have spent different amount of time with each other, and how we spend time with each other is different. So Peter, and I have been together for 4 years, so I've got like a long history with Peter. Our relationship has like a dynamic of 4 years. Whereas my relationship with Joel and Dan, we've been together for like half a year now. So it's going to be a different dynamic because I obviously haven't spent as much time with them. And also the fact that we don't spend as much time together as I do with Peter, that dynamic's also different. It's like saying if you had a friend that you met a month ago versus a friend a year ago, is the relationship and how close you feel with them going to be different? I think the answer is yes. But that being said, there's an instance of, like most people are going to say you're going to be closer to the friend you've known for a year versus the friend you've known for a month. Most people. But there's also an instance where you might have connected really well with that friend that you've just known for a month and you could feel closer with them versus the friend that you've known for a year. So time is one factor, but also I think level of connectivity or how well you click with the person is also another really important factor. So in some ways, time is the easiest way to explain it because I think it's quite a general universal concept for people. But that being said, if like, let's say me and Bob just met and we sat in a room for 8 hours together and we didn't say anything to each other versus me and John, we met and I spent 8 hours with John and we were talking to each other, getting to know each other's lives. I've spent 8 hours with Bob and John, but I'm going to feel much closer to John because we've actually shared, we've connected, things like that. So yeah, I think that's the same with my relationships with my different boyfriends. I connect with them on different emotional levels. Not to say that one is better or worse, but when I say I feel closer to Peter, it's not necessarily like emotionally closer. It's just I know Peter better. Like I've spent more time getting to know Peter and how he behaves compared to Joel and Dan. And that's the same thing for Joel and Dan. They know each other better because they've spent more time with each other than they have spent with Peter and I. So I think a lot of people, when they look at our quad relationship from the outside, maybe they expect us to feel like an equal level of emotional closeness in every regard, or they perceive it to not be fair. Or some people maybe expect us to have different emotional levels of emotional closeness with each other, and they think that that's not fair. But I don't think that's the case. The reality of it is fundamentally rooted in the reality of how relationships develop. Like Peter and I knew each other before and we had a relationship already. Joel and Dan knew each other before and had a relationship together. So when the four of us connected, that connection happens, but on the foundation of the two relationships that existed before that. And as a result, there are different levels of closeness that we have with each other, which is not like a good or a bad thing. It's just the reality. What makes the relationship work, I guess, is we just enjoy spending time with each other. And the fact that I think we're all a little bit crazy enough to live outside the bounds of Peter just threw his t-shirt. It was very distracting. Peter's, he's topless. I don't need water, thank you.
I'm topless because you're a bottom. Get it? Get it?
That's the
Because you're a bottom. That's why I'm topless. Huh? I'm so funny.
This
funny.
guy is an attention seeker.
I'm so funny.
This guy is just attention seeky, and he wants me to tell you guys that he looks very hot walking around topless. And then he decided to throw his pants here as well, so I'll tell you he's also not wearing pants either. So that's the most exciting thing that's happened today. Apart from Peter's breath smelling like shit at 3 a.m. in the morning. Good one, you distracted me. Now I don't know what I was saying. I was saying, we are all a little bit crazy in that we are okay, I guess, with... It takes a certain kind of person to be okay with other people potentially judging them for having 3 boyfriends, which is not normal, but also we are not very normal people, so I have no concerns with that. Yes, I hope that answers the question. Did I miss anything? Oh, last part is, does that relationship sit in a different emotional category? It's a complex one because in many ways, like, we have, I would say, I don't want to use the word main because I think people are like, if there's a main, then there's a secondary. You care less about them. But we have our main partners. So Joel and Dan have each other, Peter and I have each other, and then we're also like have the 4 of us together as partners. It's not that I don't care any less for them. It's more my objective in a relationship when I have a boyfriend, or in this case boyfriends, is to make sure that everyone is looked after and everyone is well taken care of. For me, that's what being a boyfriend is like. Making sure my significant others are all okay. The great thing about this 4-person relationship is I have kind of a primary responsibility to Peter, and I think everyone acknowledges that. Peter knows that, and Joel and Dan know that as well. And at the same time, Peter has responsibilities to me, and Joel and Dan have a responsibility to each other, which we all kind of expect of each other. Like, I expect those 2 to take care of each other because we're not in the same country, so it's very hard for me to take care of them. So I kind of hold them both accountable to make sure they take care of each other, they're being nice to each other. When we're all together and we're traveling together, whatever, like if one of us is sick or one of us needs something, it's all our responsibilities because we're together at that point. We can really take care of each other. But it doesn't, for me, it feels weird to put it in or to say that it goes in a different emotional category. Sorry, I just thought it was a mosquito, but it wasn't. I'm just very conscious, or trying to be conscious, of the words that I choose to use because I don't want the perception of this relationship to be a negative one where there's like, some people are more important than others to you, because the experience is not that. So I don't want to portray it as that. It's more, there's a reality again to how the relationship was formed, and those dynamics are important. It's really hard to explain, but please ask me more questions. If anything if anything I said didn't make sense, like, I really want to clarify. I don't want to be misunderstood. But our 4-person relationship, there is history to the relationship, how we came together as a 4, and how we came together as originally 2 couples. So even, let's say, if as 2 couples, 2 people connected first and got closer, which in our relationship wasn't how it happened, that would be a completely different dynamic as well. So in each poly situation, there is a different dynamic. So it's very hard to generalize what might apply to one poly situation to another. That's probably the one thing that I'll say. I have met a few other poly couples. Actually, I have a lot of friends who have been poly or are poly. And everyone's dynamic is really different. So yeah. Then the question is, do I love everyone equally? I would say I love everyone equally, but differently. That's my answer. So yeah, that was a very long answer to what I think was not a simple, straightforward question, purely because I don't want to convey the wrong meaning. But I hope it was helpful. I hope I answered the question. If not, let me know, and I'm happy to clarify and try and explain more. But that is it. It is really damn late. I need to go to sleep. My little baby smells so beautiful. And Peter is in the shower, so I'm going to go shower as well. See you guys soon. Bye.